simple explanation is the 20th episode of the 5th season of House. It first aired on April 6, 2009. Plot: as Eddie Novak lies on his deathbed, his wife Charlotte is stricken with respiratory failure. The team takes Charlotte's case and wheels Eddie into her room, as he seems to gain strength when he sees her suffering. Torb suggests she could have picked up something in Hawaii when she went there, and Foreman suggests melioidosis. They start her on an 4-drip and acyclovir, which works, until she starts gasping. 13 suggests polyceratitis, so the team starts Charlotte on indomethacin. In the meantime, Torb does a hormone panel on Eddie which turns out normal, so he does an echocardiogram on him as well to see if his heart's improving, but it isn't. Unusually, Kuettner does not show up for work, and House dispatches 13 and Foreman to check his apartment. 13 finds Kuettner's body. He has committed suicide. The team must then try to save Charlotte while struggling to make sense of Kuettner's death. House, 13 and Foreman go to see Kuettner's parents, but House blames the parents and leaves. Torb seems to show little interest in Kuettner's death. Cuddy tells the team she's hired a grief counselor and offers them time off. She then goes to talk to Wilson, who hasn't been with House yet. Wilson goes with House to Kuettner's home. House looks around and finally suspects foul play. Someone murdered Kuettner. House suspects it was the same person who killed Kuettner's birth parents. House eventually realizes Charlotte feigned her illness, but then her liver fails. 13 does an MRI on her, but her spleen ruptures in the middle of it. House thinks she could have alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, so 13 and Torb run her AAT proteins. Foreman takes time off. Her proteins come back normal. She then tries to commit suicide by taking a whole bunch of drugs so that Eddie can have her heart. The team manages to stabilize Charlotte, but the drugs she took damaged her liver. House gets Cameron to convince Eddie to do a partial liver transplant. With his failing heart, he's bound to die on the table. Then they can give his whole liver to Charlotte, which is what she needs, not part of one. House gets Cameron to convince Eddie to do this. He wants to say goodbye to her, but Cameron notes she would never agree to this if she knew what would happen. As Eddie signs off on the transplant, Cameron notices nodules on Eddie's fingers, which could indicate that his condition might be curable. Meanwhile, House finds out that the murderer of Kuettner's birth parents died of an aneurysm 2 months ago. Eddie still wants to proceed with the liver donation, but Torb reveals to Charlotte that Eddie can be cured. House realizes Charlotte was in Rio without telling Eddie, where she contracted visceral leishmaniasis. The team starts her on antimony. The episode ends with Cameron, Chase, Foreman, 13, Cuddy, Wilson, Kuettner's parents and many other people attending Kuettner's funeral. Foreman takes 13's hand as they watch Kuettner's body be cremated. Before Cuddy leaves for the funeral, Torb says that they diagnosed Charlotte too late and she will die. Cuddy offers Torb a ride. He refuses, saying he will stay with Charlotte. Cuddy says that Charlotte's death bought them more time to save Eddie and to transplant her heart, which will give her death meaning, but Torb says it won't. Torb stays with Charlotte and Eddie until she dies. Then he is shown sitting in the corridor crying. House goes to Kuettner's apartment and looks through his photos of Kuettner happy until he finds one of Kuettner looking off into the distance depressed. Kuettner's death. Kuettner's suicide was scripted due to actor Kal Penn's decision to accept the position of Associate Director of the White House Office of Public Liaison in President Barack Obama's administration. Critical reception. Leading up to the premiere of Simple Explanation, Fox aired commercials suggesting that the episode would contain a major event, calling the episode, Beyond Words. Kuettner's death was criticized in the Star-Ledger, with columnist Alan Sepinwall arguing that the death was pointless, and seemingly written only to create a very special episode. The AV Club praised the episode for its surprising twist, but also claimed that the sudden death of a major character for no discernible reason was a dramatic cheap shot. However, Entertainment Weekly commended the show's handling of the death, believing that it was presented in a dramatically effective and realistic manner. Music, Lose You by Pete Yorn, played at the end of the episode. References. External links, simple explanation of the Internet Movie Database.